Perfect, guys. So, Season 2 is just about to end. During the season, I've definitely seen my fair share of what good is looking like, what the competitive players are using to dominate in the events like the Mightiest Empire. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you just a breakdown of, from a Lubu main perspective, how the gems can be broken down, how the gears can be broken down and prioritized to maximize your competitive edge for the events like the Mightiest Empire, in the Stellar Glory ranking, in these Mightiest Empire events like the whales, they're going to be the ones that benefit the most. They're going to take home quite a lot of points. So this is just like building you in the right direction just to make sure that you're using the right gems. You've thought about the right decisions for the rings, prioritizing, because I know not everyone will have the same access to the same amount of magma crystals or lightning crystals, so like how you can prioritize and still keep a competitive edge. And that's just what we're going to cover in this video today. One thing that I've noticed that definitely I think a lot of people that want to be competitive in this game should take notice of are the troop bonuses. Now, when fighting in these KVK events, when we fight in these Mightiest Empire events, you do come across like those odd few whales, and not necessarily whales, even like the Krakens. I'm talking like the 80 million plus players, all red on their commanders. We'll look at a few later just so I can properly explain what I'm trying to get through to you guys here. But the bonus to the troop like has a very massive say in how your troop is going to perform, and it's a good comparison to see where your account is at in comparison. This is what I'm currently at right now, 440 might attack. I think that the main two that I really want to focus on is the might attack. Given that I'm using Warrior Cavalry, the might attack is key. It goes hand in hand with the amount of damage that you're going to output. And then health as well. People are sleeping on health, and I'm going to definitely get into that later in the video. Let me show you like the whales like that we were actually fighting against. There's one in particular. So yeah, all right, perfect. New Moon. New Moon he was a Kraken. This guy was, I think he was using 3 marches at a time, maybe it was 4, and like yeah, he was killing it. What we really want to look at here though is the buffs. Now look at the difference there. The might attack, he's at 573. The health is at 71.8. That's massive. So it's no surprise there that he's able to like really out damage me on these like sorts of trades. But what can we do to maximize ourselves before we enter season 3 to make sure that we're fighting as best as we can with what we do have on our account? So all right, cool. So this is how we're gonna do it. Let's get Lubu here first. Nice and easy, the ring. So I think rings will definitely play their part in boosting your bonuses. Now, with me, I think I've made the mistake. I went with 2 gold rings. Yeah, thinking back on it, I wouldn't have done that. If I could restart, I wouldn't have done that at all. I would have probably pushed this to as close to level 20 as possible. This one's good, but I think, for right now, I'm not pushing this to level 20. Like, that's just not happening. But there's this ring. So at max, it's 50% chance to reduce damage taken by 25% every 6 seconds for 3 seconds. So I think getting that to 30 is a nice replacement to the gold ring. In terms of like what it is to get, I think the amount of like hammers that you're going to need to level this up to even 10 to 20 is, yeah, I'm not sure it was worth it. I would instead, if I was to get another gold ring, what I would have done is the Lord of Eastern Heavens. Now, what I have noticed is quite a few of the whales in other servers have like leveled this up on the Guan Yu, and when we get to Guan Yu and his build, maybe I'll explain a bit why. But yeah, this would have been the ring of choice if I was to have gotten a second gold ring. We'll get into it a bit later. Now, this ring. I want to talk about this ring, and then it will make sense a bit later on. What you want to pay attention to on this ring is that this ring has a skill that is affected by might bonus. And being affected by might bonus is huge. With the might bonus, how this is going to work. For skills with might bonus, for every point of might that you have, it's going to increase the skill's effect by 0.3%. When we get into how high you can make your commander's might climb, that could be massive. You can be seeing over 100% increases. Like, it is huge, but we'll get into that. So let's First, we've got our naked Lubu. The reason I'm looking at gear first, now gear is one of the easiest things that you can upskill, and it's going to have a massive knock-on effect in terms of your might attack and your might defense. First, let's fit him up with each one. Cool. Now, when you're starting off with Lubu, how I'm looking at it, so if we're just looking at before stars, just like purely on the level, what I would actually focus on for Lubu is the attack. Warrior Cavalry is just like their bread and butter is might attack. You're going to see a lot of might gems in this build. You're going to see a lot of bonuses to attack. I push the gauntlets and the legs up a bit first, purely because they're going to boost your attack. And you want to maximize the amount of attack that you can get with this build. Starts on 2.2%. 19.58, so what's that, a 17.38 increase? Just quickly as well, take a look, this is the gear right now, just been leveling it up quickly. Alright, cool. So that is, the might attack is at 416. This is where we're looking, this is what we're tracking at now. The health is 46.9, okay? Just pay attention to that. What we're going to do is, as we're leveling it up, we're going to see the overall increase in this. I think it was 416 that was at. I want to level this up to 80, and then we'll go back and then quickly take a look at it and just see already, just from leveling up this one piece to level 80, the difference in the gear. So cool, we've got that to level 80, we got the boots to level 80. We take a look now at the bonus. Look at that. So that's up by 18%. For each percent it goes up in terms of gear bonus is a whole percent to the might attack, and that's going to affect all your commander's troops. Get these leveled up to 80. Get all the gear to at least level 60, and then from there you can fit on the 3 gems to maximize the amount of gems each commander can hold. Now, before we even get into gems, let's look at the stars on the gear. What you want to prioritize. So now, the magma crystals, they don't have the same pack. Unfortunately, that lucky moments for the magma crystals is gone. They've got the gear upgrade one, but it isn't great. You can easily stack up on like magma crystals, just not as fast as you used to be able to. So where there is that slight shortage of magma crystals, you might want to prioritize carefully how much you can give away, because you don't want to just focus on Lubu's gear. You need to make sure that Attila's gear is good. You want to make sure that Guan Yu's gear is good. And this isn't even just limited to this troop and this march. This is across all your marches. Like when it comes to the gear, yes, it's fine that your commander has the best gear, but you want to make sure that the 2 other commanders, their gear isn't also slack. First, what you want to prioritize here is the health bonus. Massive. It just means that for the amount, you'll take less deads. It takes more to kill them, so the same amount of damage will be killing less of them. So what you want to do is prioritize the health bonus. So let's go ahead, unlock that, advance these. Perfect. Now at the first level, as you saw, it was just 8 magma crystals each. And then that's another thing. You want to stack up on gear. Like when you're building your gear, like you want to hoard those chests where you can like choose which gear piece you can get and only get it for that specific gear. So you see these ones. For me, I've already finished what I need to do for the cavalry gear, so my next would be archers, but I'm still just stacking that up for now. For now, just make sure that you hoard those chests. They're going to be so key for helping you unlock these stars to your gear. So let's go ahead and max this up as well. I would prioritize, I might even go as far as saying getting these to 2-star first, because then the unit capacity is huge as well. You don't need to overdo it in unit capacity. The more troops you send out, the more that have the potential of dying. If you can get to like quite comfortably like 145,000 with like the 20% buff, you're sweet. Just go ahead and get those maxed up. These cap out at 1,800 each. So yeah, in terms of like for each commander, that's 3,600 additional troops if you get the helm and the chest to 2-star. That's 10,800 on top of base, just from having the 2 stars on all 3 commanders for both the chest and the helm, which is that's quite good. Like before a buff, having an additional 10,000 troops is quite... So yeah, I'd go ahead, get those 2-starred first, and then maybe we can look at the damage up. Now, alright, I've got an interesting one with this. Now, you see, I haven't taken gauntlets past this point. Just with the amount of magma crystals that I have, I've just left it here. So I literally just unlock that, and that's me done. That is me done. Elimination rate up just means that you will be killing more of their troops. The enemy will receive more dead troops, and that's it. This is where it gets crazy. So a big one for me, again, I think in terms of the stars, chest and helm are like clear, because what they've got now as the 3rd star is the damage taken. So the damage that you're going to take from your counter. So for Lubu, the damage we're taking from pikes is taken down a notch. It jumps up quite a lot. It's 48 magmas per shard, which is quite a lot. But then it's only for the first 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the final one is lightning crystals. Now these are slow. These are very slow. I think from VIP you can get like 12. Yeah, I think you get maybe 12 a week from VIP, and then maybe 10 if you rank first in treasure hunt. So these are really slow to come by. You won't have a lot of this to throw around. So I do go ahead and unlock it for this one. I'm going to do the exact same for this one as well. It's a 3-star. Unlock that. But then also I'm doing this one. So the damage that I'm going to deal to archers is going to have a 4.5% buff. So I pop this one open. This is where I stop in terms of the stars for my Lubu. Nice breakdown here. So we've got a 6% health bonus, 39% boost to defense and attack, cavalry damage up by 4.8, health up by 6%. So quite a lot of useful buffs here. I think the one that I like to highlight, so the damage taken from unit types that counter me is down by 9%. If you can get the 3 stars on the chest and the helm, in total 27% down from their 30%, that's crazy. Now let's get into a big one, a really big one, the gems. Now, gems are going to play a massive part. So what we want to do is I'm going to pop this red health gem on. Next, I'm going to have the capacity up. I'm always going to prioritize health over the capacity. You just want to get it to a solid baseline so that when you drop that 20% buff, you can get to like the 145k mark. So before I put the gem on, we're on 434. And then when we pop this on, what we'll see, yeah, 436, see? So that pops it up by 2%. And that's just one gem, one gold gem, okay? For this, I think this one's easy. Might. What you're going to see from Lubu is he's a damage dealer. And from the damage dealers, you want to pop this up as well. It was on 436. Watch what happens. So we're going to add 6.85, add on another 6.8 add on another 6.85, what's that, 13.7, and then we've added, what was that, 18.2, should say here, 18.2 up on the hero's might. The difference is, so what, that went up by, there's not a lot actually, it was by maybe 2%, but it stacks up, over time it will stack up. This one's really easy. For the tactic gems, now, what we know about Lubu is he does a lot of secondary attack. You want to go for the hero's secondary skill strike damage. So each one is 1.5%. Let's have a quick breakdown in terms of what we're expecting from the Lubu. His signature skill is going to increase his own critical strike rate by 25%. Now, how will we go around building the Attilla and building the Guan Yu? You'll see a bit later in terms of the skills that we use, is to build around this skill. You want to maximize the critical strike rate that Lubu can have, as well as DPS you can get from Guan Yu. And then you also want to increase the amount of times that they can deal a critical strike to get this skill to proc off. Because when it procs, that's another 50% damage to the customizable skills. So your weak spot attack, your Ripper Tiger. So another 50% on top, and then 100% to deal one more normal attack. That will then also have the opportunity to critical strike. You're just trying to prioritize the amount of damage that you can get out of Lubu and building around getting those critical strikes and then boosting his customizable skills damage. What we will then do is on this final one, we'll pop one more to boost that unit attack up by another 2%. Might again, wherever you can put in a hero crystal, you're going to want to put in the might ones for Lubu. We can nice and easy there. If we take a look at what you can expect in the rallies, again, 22,000, high merit in each rally. Like when you build him correct, the gems correctly, and boost up the might attack percentage, what you can expect is just getting quite a lot of merit from these rallies, which is quite good. When we look at some of the reports, to be fair, I think it's hard to find people similar level, but against people that like haven't got to the same level of gear as yourself, like clean wipes, taking a few thousand of their troops, only 100 losses. Like look, so many less troops. It's not the best trade. I guess it was an alright trade here. So we had 100k troops, so there's 150k. Still took quite a lot of dead troops. But again, we weren't just fighting against one person, there was a few other people. It seems, yeah, it looks like, yeah, against marchers that aren't as focused in terms of the gear and the gems as you have, it should be clear in your flavor. Now, in terms of what you can expect from the Guan Yu and your Attila, based on what I've said in terms of you want to proc this as much as possible, what we'll then go back and do is from your Guan Yu and from your Attila, I'm building them around increasing the critical strike rate. This is at 100% activation, so this is permanently increased by 13.2%. Again, your critical insight on Attila, the exact same, another 13.2. So 26.4 in total. It's almost doubled what your Lubu was starting on, the 25% from unrivaled prowess. So a 26.4% on top from your Lubu's unrivaled prowess, 25%. But then in terms of the second skill for Attila, for Guan Yu even, with Guan Yu, there's a lot of options. Some people might prefer the Armor Piercer. It would mean that Guan Yu launches damage 25%, 250% plus the Might bonus. I'm about to get into the Might bonus because that's really important to take into consideration. Why I'm opting for Fatal Blow, even though it's like quite low in terms of the red stars, is after launching a normal attack, deals Might damage to the troop rate, again with the Might bonus, but it can deal a critical strike. Now, why this is important, again, if we look back at Lubu's unrivaled prowess, after any of your heroes deal a critical strike, that's going to increase the damage of Lubu's next customizable skill by 50%. And then that 100% chance to deal one more normal attack. By opting for Fatal Blow on Guan Yu, we're then just giving ourselves another chance to proc the unrivaled prowess from Lubu. It's one of the builds that we were seeing from server 40's whale. Yeah, look at that. So he had much less troops than me. Here's Lubu like out damage. I lost a lot of troops here. We take a look. Fatal Blow, see? So, and he's got that, imagine that. So that's 310% plus the Might bonus, and then can deal those critical strikes. It just means that when he does proc these up, and these are both at 5 red stars, yeah, that's a crazy amount of damage increase. And again, this is the ring that I was mentioning, so the Lord of Eastern Heavens. So the active skills, the hero's active skills will go down by 25% permanently. At level 10, you can get that to boost your Might attack by 27% on the troop bonus, 39 at level 20. I'm not expecting most people to go past level 20, unless they're like the major whales or krakens, then getting the level 30, level 40, even level 50. Where you get the 100% bonus, which would just, yeah, that would be huge. And even on top of that, the base skills of the ring are huge. You've got troop health, troop attack, and then commander damage. So definitely, probably going to pivot to this ring. Once I get my Radiant to level 20, pivot to get this to level 10. And then, yeah, we see again, this Attila being built around making sure to double up in the critical strike element. So 30% chance to not only boost Lubu by 125. Oh, so there's 125 Might with Might bonus, and then critical strike rate up by 20%. Now let's take a look at the Might bonus, because this is key. This is really, really key. Now I've got my Lubu here, 570 Might, but when we tap on the Might, it breaks down what this actually means. So for each point of Might, it will increase the Might attack of my units by 0.15%. 571.77 times 0.15. That is an 85.77% increase. Basically an 86% increase in that might attack of my units. And then for the skills now, it's by 0.3, so it's even more. That's 171.5%. So that's gonna, so for any time we see a skill that says might bonus, we're just adding on another 171%. That's massive. That is absolutely massive. So that is why you want to make sure that you're prioritizing those might gems for Lubu. That is an insane markup with the might bonus. And I think people sleep on it. And there's a few things that you want to also think about with that might bonus and like building your team around it. Now, if we look at my Attila's might is 495. My Guan Yu is 467. Now, the reason I put this Nightwolf on Attila is because it will take into account Attila's might bonus. It's going to increase the damage of all your heroes' normal attacks and secondary strike skills by 12.3% might bonus. If I was to put this on Guan Yu, I'm going to take advantage of only 467. It's 140%. Whereas with Attila, 148, so almost an 8% increase. Now obviously, if I could, I'd put it on Lubu, but Lubu needs the Radiant. Just onto the gems now quickly, before the gems even the stars. So again, similar structure of stars to what I had for Lubu, Guan Yu, and on Attila. When we then look a bit closer, yes, I've maxed out these two first in terms of the counters down. I've run out of lightning crystals though, so it's now it's the slow grind to get more lightning crystals. Right now I've got 39. I don't see them as worth it to like really push hard, especially not being a whale. In terms of the gems that I'm using for my Guan Yu, so I'm going to prioritize having health over unit capacity. So I've gone with health on my Guan Yu. Again, all might. With the fatal blow, it's going to have might bonus in terms of the damage that Guan Yu will be dealing. It makes sense then that you're also pushing up Guan Yu's might, so to maximize the amount of damage that he's doing and maximize the amount that you're getting out of that might bonus. Here, because Guan Yu, again, he will do secondary attacks, and they'll have the opportunity to do critical damage. So what I've gone for here is 2 secondary strike damage up gems, and then 1 normal attack. This is just going to boost that might attack percentage. And again, gone with the health, might, and then secondary skill. And lastly, with Attila, the world shall crumble. What we've gone for here. So I've got 2 500 unit capacities here, as well as the unit attack up by 2%, aiming to maximize the amount of might attack that we can boost it up by. I didn't have any more might gems, so I've got 2 all attributes that will boost the might, just not as much as purely might, and then an armor up. The troop attack gems, they're also going to boost up that might attack percentage for your troop, for your march. And then lastly, finish off with more capacity, with armor, and then normal attack on my troops up again. So when I put that all together, it takes me up to 441.4 with 54.4 on the health. For when you're finishing Season 2, going into Season 3, having over 400%, 410%, yeah, I'd say, yeah, having over 400% on your might attack percentage is perfect. I know you've seen earlier in the video there was Krakens that had 570. That is massive. There are a few things that can help boost this up quickly, but I think 400 and above is a great spot. Now, when we actually open it up, we can see a breakdown of where this is coming from. A massive one that I don't think a lot of people have realized is the university technologies. That is massive. So far from our gear and the gems, it is giving us 117%. The heroes themselves, this is including the hero's might. The gems, again, just from the gems that we have and how they boost the might attack. But the university technologies, this is massive. For most players, we probably won't see this until Season 3. Like, I don't think I'm on track to see this until like maybe Season 3, depends how I push. But these here, these final researchers are huge. These cap out at 20% for each. So this caps out at 20% attack. That will translate straight to that might attack percentage. So once you've had that maxed out, that's another 20% on top. Might defense capped at 20%. And then this is also massive. You can get another 10%. It is huge. And I think it's a reason why when we look at the rankings of some of our bigger players, let's say for swordsmen here, their technology is quite high. and that's because they've maximized that final trigger for all unit types, the attack, defense, and health up. Those are massive to the performance of your troop. If you can rush it quickly, that's nice. You'll definitely capitalize early, but like in the long term, that's where you want to be aiming towards. But overall, yeah, that is how I'm looking at my Lubu for the end of Season 2, going into Season 3. I don't believe there's going to be much change. I know there's been images flying around of Robin Hood being introduced to the game, so hopefully he's good. Maybe you can trade out Guan Yu, you upgrade him to Robin Hood. That could be quite cool. But yeah, no, guys, that is everything. Hope that was helpful. Yeah, just a different style and a different take to making these videos, and we'll see if they stick. We'll keep with the stories as well, and hopefully our next Mightiest Empire, I can get a lot of recording from there, turn it into a nice story for you guys to enjoy. But yeah, thanks for watching. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video.